Morning, friends. I have a very early start this morning because I woke up with a belly ache. I woke up hot and with a belly ache. But really, I finished my final edit, hopefully my final edit of Religiously Roasted, and I want to print off a copy, give that to Sam today. She'll go through it. I don't usually expect any major story notes from her. I don't expect any, well, this didn't make sense over here, and maybe you should shuffle these things around, or anything like that. Really kind of just read it for enjoyment and pick out any of the last typographical errors that I might have missed. I think I go through it with a pretty, it's a medium tooth comb, I think. So the version I'll print out today is mostly print ready. I think by the end of the week, it'll probably be online. I'm optimistic. I'm happy that it's done. I don't think in the end, I didn't add a lot of course, I haven't really read it myself. I've been working through it. I haven't read it. So the things that I thought I was going to add to it were much smaller. And they just little nuggets in certain places. The biggest section was this monologue for the pastor, which things kind of turn on, but it helps move the story forward. It is a turning. It's not the turning point, but it is a turning point. So it's done. I'm excited to print it out and have it and hand that off to Sam. It's a little over 21,000 words, so it's not a huge story. It's not. It's definitely a novella. Admittedly so, I can admit to that. Yes, I finished that up last night, right before eating 3 tacos loaded with sour cream, which is why I woke up this morning with a bellyache. Lactose intolerant. That's spicy dairy. Spicy milk. I'm pontificating this morning because today is the official launch of Trip's Busted Stuff parent channel, Sogo Media TV, and literally up until this morning, I've only had vague ideas in my own detective work, my own thesis, my own hypotheses that I've pieced together based on various things about what this channel was going to be. So it's called Sogo Media TV. Obviously, Trip is one of the featured players. At its core, it's just I want to say it's a vlogging channel, or a group vlogging channel, but I'm not sure that's. I mean, just to get your general idea, that's a good idea. It's a good way to paint it, but I think it aims to be more than that. And on their website, he posted an actual description and a press release and blah 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 blah. And I mean, I think it's a smart idea. I think they openly say, hey, there's this untapped niche market of Christian videos on YouTube, and God damn it, we're gonna tap it. And then the other element to that is, well, and I found this out a while ago, and this is the first thing that kind of just bothers me. The name Sogo Media is actually it's the social gospel. and that bothers me. And and then I watched some of or partially watched some of the videos that were posted today, because I want to see what the hell, because I know what Trip is bringing to the table. I don't know what other people are bringing to the table to this channel. So I watched it, and there's this one guy, big published Christian author, talking about how the Holy Spirit wants everybody to stop treating church like an institution, and religion like, one is religious supremacy, something along those lines, which is a cool idea. But I'm watching, and this is what, personally, as the atheist that I am, that's working whose production skills, whose production company is working to produce and partner with Trip and help him realize what he needs to realize, or grow into what he needs to grow into, is what I mean by that. What bothers me personally as the atheist here is the name, this social gospel, this when Trip and Trip continues to get more and more religious in his videos, especially busted stuff as that progresses. But Trip, I don't know if it's deliberate or not, or intentional, he stays away from institutionalized frameworks. And by that, and maybe it's still going, maybe he just hasn't gotten to it yet, but I mean, he even stays away from, in my mind, institutionalized, the institutionalized dialect, the framework of language that defines religion and Christianity. And personally, I don't like this idea that the channel, first of all, gospel is about preaching, isn't that what the definition of the word is, to preach the First Testament, for the New Testament rather. It's preaching, it's bashing it into people's heads, converting the non-believers. To me, that's the definition of gospel, to spread his word. And that even if I'm approaching it from that Christian, that neo-Christian movement, that whatever this social thing, I don't know that that's what the movement is looking for. I don't know if that's what people want. I didn't know that people want this call to action to convert people. So that premise within the title is bothersome. And then to hear these people, here we are on, I don't know why I'm talking so much about this, but it's on my mind, and it's bothersome. We have these people online trying to tap into this community that, based on Trip and this one other girl whom I friended, and I think, and I like the gist of her jive. In Trip's second busted stuff, she was Magpie Girl. I feel like these guys are really taking an outside approach, and I don't, I think time will tell how married to Christianity they stay, versus these good person ideals, these intelligent good person ideals. That's what I see, and that's what resonates with me more so than the religious bullshit. So what I'm wondering is this movement, this demographic of people who are interested in religious videos online, who are going to who is this community? Is it people who are still ingrained in the institution, who are going to sit and watch an hour and a half video podcast rooted in institutionalized language? I think there's, maybe that is is the demographic, and maybe there is that demographic. I'm not sure that's the demographic Trip wants to be playing to. I'm not sure that's the demographic Trip wants to be engaging. I mean, maybe it is, but I think he's just going to have a lot of, it's an uphill battle, I think. Those aren't the open minds. Those aren't, essentially, that's the problem. Those aren't open minds. The demographic, I think, are people like Trip who, from an outsider point of view, literally are standing on that cusp between Christianity and good person ideals. And this Magpie Girl has actually spelled it out really well. The institution failed them. The institution harmed them. They are not personally sustainable living within that institution. So I think that, broad vision, and then that's the other thing. Okay, so that, number one, I think in the broad picture, visionary sense of Sogo Media TV, I think there's two divergent demographics, and I think there's two arenas that may not actually play well with each other. That being said, I don't remember what the other thing is, and I just pulled into work and other people are looking at me talking to myself. Kind of. No. That's good. So that being said, I don't remember what the other part was. So divergent demographics that probably aren't going to be playing well with each other. Or maybe that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I don't remember what the other point was. I was too distracted. But I think that, at first blush on the first day, not that I'm saying that it's not going to be successful. I'm actually impressed, mildly impressed with the debut day, the inaugural day of Sogo Media, more so than I thought I would be. But as it crystallizes into a legitimate form, I'm not sure that and maybe that's just me, maybe bringing my own personal bias to it, and I will admit to that. But yeah, I guess there's other things on the horizon to focus on, and hopefully, if anything else, that was the whole point of doing Busted Stuff. There's going to be an audience, so tap into it. And hopefully lock it in, and then slingshot it. Keep going with it wherever we end up going. But that's the thing. Oh, I want to talk about group channels. This is a really good premise here. That's the thing. You've got. And again, we'll see how the rest of the content plays out, but if you have Trip and Magpie Girl who are talking about this really progressive, outside the institution, to the point where they're not using the language, where they're not using the verbiage that is created by the institution. To me, that is a big deal. If you've got these two thought process, these two shows right over here, and it's surrounded by institutionalized rooted material, very gospel motivated material, do these two shows have a chance of capturing an audience? Or does it go the other way? Do these two shows, shining like a beacon, that could genuinely be this progressive beacon, will they eclipse these other shows? I don't know. I apologize. I'm just gonna probably post this and send the link to Trip for his thoughts. I don't know. Stay creative.